How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about my favorite accessory, hands down, for honestly any Can-Am machine, but today specifically the X3, and that's going to be that Can-Am Powerflip windshield. So the Powerflip windshield is a hard-coated Lexan type material, and it does have electric cylinders that power it up. Clarity is really good. It does have these rounded edges, so right on the edge it kind of distorts a little bit, but honestly you really aren't ever looking there, so not a huge deal at all. It's also got this visor up here that is tinted, so it's actually kind of nice. Whenever it's really bright out, it actually kind of cuts down on glare. You can see there it is sealed all the way around. Honestly, it's pretty darn tight whenever it's all closed up. The only place that I've really seen that anything can kind of get in is right along this top seal here, just because there's no support right here. So if I push on it there, you can kind of see it moves a little bit. So it's not super rigid out in the middle. So that's really the only place that anything can kind of come in as far as water. And real quick, while we're on the outside, I will say that these washers, they kind of rust after like literally no time at all. So Can-Am, obviously this is something that's going to be in the weather. You should probably make the hardware something that's not going to rust so easy. But other than that, I mean, the quality of it is honestly really good. Moving to the inside of the vehicle there, this is where we have mounted the switch in this one. This is a 3-position switch, so you rock it one way to open it, one way to close it. You can stop it anywhere in between, and it is 3 positions, so it kind of holds itself. So you can click it, it'll go all the way up and it'll stop, and then you're going to want to rock it back to the middle position for kind of like a neutral. Same with whenever you close it. But honestly, I kind of like it there. I was kind of debating about putting it up on the dash, but I kind of like it down in the bottom better. So operationally, just going to turn it on really fast here. Go ahead and flip the switch. So it moves pretty quick, fully extends there. Kind of see that tinted I was talking about. Definitely a lot darker than the bottom part, but moves pretty quick. So if you're gonna get up behind somebody that's picking up a lot of dust, or if you're somewhere where there's fixing to be a mud crossing or whatever, it doesn't take that long to close it down. While I've got the machine running, I do want to say the final thing, really the only thing that's kind of a negative, is right here. Watch. So see, the left hits a little faster than the right, and that's not to say that every left is going to hit faster than the right, but what I'm saying is that, you know, we put a few of these on at this point, and every one of them I'm seeing the one cylinder is a little bit faster than the other. It might be left, might be right, it doesn't matter. But one cylinder is typically just a little bit faster than the other, so it makes it really hard to sync it up. I mean, it's not a huge deal because, you know, there's a lot of flex in that thing, and it's not going to hurt anything at all. So it's more annoying than anything. Whenever you close it down, it makes you kind of think, did I do something wrong? But really, I mean, there's single holes, there's no slotted holes or anything, so there's really one way it goes, and there's not a lot of adjustment to do. But yeah, I mean, that's really the only negative, but again, it's not a huge negative. As long as the slower cylinder doesn't ever get substantially slower, shouldn't be an issue. But other than that, this windshield is awesome. And I suppose if we're gonna nitpick, there's really no good way to hide the wires. You can hide them a little bit, which we have hit them pretty good, but they've got to have enough room to move a little bit. So there may be some options there to get it a little bit tighter, but you know, you do have to have some movement, so you're gonna have to have a little bit of slack there. Not a huge deal. Haven't had any issues with mine yet, but still something to note. So the big question is this worth it? And honestly, I really think that it is. It's about $1,050, but I know for me, whenever I purchased this windshield, what I was worried about was that it was gonna get scratched up, and then I've got $1,000 scratched up windshield. But the one thing that you have to remember is that when you're on the trail with like a full hard-coated windshield, whatever, and you splash up mud on your windshield, you can't see, you gotta wipe it off. With this one, you don't have to wipe it off right away. If you get it covered in mud or whatever, just raise it up, you know, just run no windshield and you can still see, you can run it for a long time. Then when you get to like a creek crossing or something, close it down, hit it a little faster, let the water wash it off, and you're good to go again. So you're not wiping it nearly as much as like a fixed windshield. So from that standpoint, I think that it will last a lot longer without being scratched up. But ultimately, it is like saying it's going to scratch at some point, but I think it's going to be a while. Truthfully, I think that this windshield, if they made this in like an automotive glass with a wiper, but still power flipped, that would be worth like $2,000 in my opinion, and I would absolutely put it on my machine. That's the only thing is, if you had a wiper, that would be perfect. And if you have a wiper on this Lexan, it's going to scratch it faster. So a glass power flip with a wiper, $2,000, no problem. But otherwise, I think that this is my favorite windshield that Can-Am offers. The Pro Vent does not vent enough at all. And I've seen the bent metal windshields, and honestly, I don't see that they would vent nearly enough. Not as much as what I would want. When it's 95 degrees out and you're riding, you gotta have this thing up. But it's nice, you know, when it's 95 degrees and people's kicking up dust, it's nice to be able to close it down and not be eating dust the whole time. So this thing is very versatile, and in my opinion, well worth the money. But hey, I hope you liked that video. If you did, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop me a comment. What do you think about the power flip? Is it worth the money? Let me know about the new 2021 Can-Am lineup. If you've seen that, what do you think about them? Looks pretty sweet. Some of the colors are pretty awesome. Until next time, y'all have a good one.